Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 Part 138. Let's go to the cafe and have one menu book available we'll be taking on in Historic Sports Car Master. By number 46 will be featured to have 3 racetrack will be required on the stamp by 3rd place or higher to be at Goodwood Motor Circuit in the United Kingdom, followed by Nürburgring Nordschleife in Germany, and Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps on Belgium is now going in to have a receive in 4-star roulette ticket. But you know the drill. Aim for the podium finish in each race is now coming in to have this part of today's video segment. It's all about classic cars to go by road-going vehicles from the 20th century. This time, I'll have to be ready up and start the menu book. We'll be doing one last course. For this new menu, I'd like you to try your hand at the Historic Sports Car Masters. This race featured legendary Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Porsche cars that appeared from the 1960s to the 1980s. It is a star-studded lineup that is sure to attract interest from car enthusiasts the world over. Finish in the top 3 in every race and you'll earn a reward. All the best out there. Alright, let's go old-fashioned, and I just got my own very kind of a Lamborghini from the Legend Car dealership, which is the Mira. But yet, it is very high expensive vehicle is perfectly to have this part of today's segment. Unlike all the other road cars to be designed in the 20th century to go in retro and vintage, along with American cars and Japanese cars from the past, and it's still yet to be available before ready up and get the menu book to be start rolling underway. Then let's go to Europe and have race number 1 at Goodwood Motor Circuit in the United Kingdom. Along with 2 events is still being placed to be around on Sunday Cup Classic and Clubman Cup Plus, but only one event is going to be perfectly to have some road car from the 20th century. As the description in Historic Sports Car Masters, watch the sparks fly as old legends go wheel to wheel in the celebration of historic sports cars. Any road car could be entered to have the regulation to go double check to have 580 or less performance point, at least 1960s and 1989 or less. First place is perfectly to have 55,000 Gran Turismo credit to have some main rival cars on the regulation onto the description. But very perfectly to see some road cars to be ready up and go old school racing. That's why I'm about to be ready up and put up the sports hard compound tires on the Lamborghini Mira P400 is about to be set and go for having an old school Gran Turismo trophy is very vintage and very yet popularity since Gran Turismo 5 back from 2010. But exactly, I'll have to do this dropping appraisal in this part of the segment, viewers. Going vintage, going old fashioned, and road car only to have this event is very much more enjoyable like having race car since the previous Gran Turismo games. Here we have Patrick Basson to have one tip of the interaction. Hi there, I'm Patrick Basson from Hungary. The Maserati Mirek I'll be driving today is a beautiful example of a 1970s mid-engine sports car. What's that? Who designed it? You ask. Good question. The Mirek was designed by the same man who penned the first-gen Golf, the Fiat Panda, and the Lancia Delta. That's right, I'm talking about car design superstar Giorgio Giuliotto. Perfect inspiration and good guess to have a good hint from Patrick Basson. He's on position number 6, there he is right now, and I'll have to be ready up to go on the last position to be settled on rolling start. That is why every road car from the 20th century comes with a personality of performance. So let's give it a go on the 16th position and start out with some slow cars with Japanese road vehicles. There's 2 versions of the Nissan Skyline. Got to go right in around on turn 1. going full throttle and switch it to the interior view to have a good look. Looks so very good and old-fashioned to be vintage, but I kinda like it. Very much more fun, similar to the standard version with its first ever mirror back from the 1960s to go by the late model. But of course, exactly to see how the Lamborghini Miura is the first ever supercar was specifically designed by Lamborghini. Very much more good performance, mid-engine drivetrain layout, and the handling is very much more modest to go smooth. Okay, that's a good pass on the Aston Martin DB5 1964. Then the Jaguar E-Type Coupe 1961. Okay, with all the warm-up practice is being well done, but this will have to take a good hard effort to be climbing up and go over the chase between two versions of the Lamborghini Countach. Let's do the final turn and kick it up onto the medium gear. Overtake the Ferrari 308 GTB 1975 before enter lap number 2. There's the Porsche 911 Turbo and the Shelby GT350. Got to go proceed well. One car at a time to do the overtake. Take a number. Modest handling. Got a good eye on Patrick Besson in the Maserati Merak SS. Just close call and just have to keep a good line slowly around on sector 2. Okay, there's the Di Tommaso Pantera. Got to slow down quickly. Going patient and cue a little offense. There we go. I just overtake the Pantera, moving on to the 5th position. And there's the 3rd generation Corvette, which is a very good hardtop version than the convertible. The only way to see how every road car from the 20th century, to see how the best performance that you really might need to go for Lamborghini from the legend car dealership, which is a very good high expensive prices, is very much more thrill and capable to be suitable by the range of performance point to go in by under 580. But the Miura is actually to have an over 3 million credits is very much more spacious enough to be entered on this event. But good pass overtake on the 3rd gen Corvette, moving on to the 4th in about 12 seconds remaining. So I had to watch my 6. Avoid taking too much oversteer. There's the Ferrari 512BB. He's on the 3rd. Just to go on the inside and kick it up in the low gear. Okay, good response on the RPM. Just hold the line, patient, and good overtake by the open. 8 seconds to go. Halfway there on the dirt lap before coming up on lap number 4 is the penultimate. Okay, very good piece of cake on the final turn with the chicane. The spectators are now coming along nicely to see the Miura on the track. It's only down to 7.6 seconds. Current update on the faster lap time in a minute, 26.356 seconds. Got to take much more exercise caution. Cue the line. Steer well. And I see 2 Lamborghini so that will have to take a dirt one will make a good accompany. Come on, going up in the top speed average. Surpassing on gear number 5 to go up in 150 miles per hour. The Mira will be embraced to take on with the Countach brothers with the standard and the 25th anniversary. Okay, very good. Just stay on the offense. Almost there to be on the decreased gap in 3.1 seconds as the final lap is already here. Very much more spacious and keep that counter steering to go hold down the fort. Unlike the Lamborghini Countach, they have two versions on variations. That's why the Mira is the first ever supercar is going to be becoming one-time legend to see how two supercars from the 1970s and the 1980s. So watch this. Just stay countermeasures to go around by the side-by-side to break through. Moving on to the second. Now for the 25th anniversary, we'll be doing one more to go. But remember folks, the slipstream is going to be your best advantage if you really want to go win for first. Alright, gonna have to go brake by commit. Let the 25th anniversary to go sliding around and have that inside apex is very perfectly. One more turn to go. Blues out, which is the finish line is just right up ahead for the signal. And that's why you should drive well and master the Lamborghini Mira. P400 Bertone prototype is what you need to do to get it from the legend car dealership. Much more fine, impressive Gran Turismo trophy and very historic supercar for the first ever design back from the 1960s to go by late. But the total time I just took recently is 7 minutes, 20.330 seconds, and fastest lap time I took on number 5, 1 minute, 24.885 seconds. Now, I wondered that one session to go by a practice to see how the little bit much matter of experiment to see how clean racing is going to be vintage to go old-fashioned. But minor guess, that's why I just took by 118 miles per hour for only a single distance and see how to test that I could probably have to be well handle this. But there you go. First stamp is clear, then moving on in race number 2 at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. But one thing for sure, because thumbnail image must have to go by a capture of the spotlight. Or I'll have to be preferred to have 3 Lamborghinis accompanied would be doing much more perfect to have this part of the replay collection. So here it is right now in the scene. Just wait for the front view. So I'm at second and go on the chase between the 25th anniversary on this Countach. Okay, that part is very cool, but I kind of like it to see how 2 retro supercars in action. But this part is actually to be right over here in the scene. But it was so very close to see my Mira is going right in to have a perfect part of the queue. So let's pause right here and change a different perspective approach. Got to capture this thumbnail image, and there you go. 3 classic Lamborghinis from the 60s, 70s, and 80s all together, but yet separate. Very much more part of the image turns out to have a retro perspective. Just to let you guys know that I just already saved a replay earlier before being exited from Goodwood Motor Circuit. Just one other thing to have some skipping buffering by interruption, so I just really need to keep it a monitor surveillance on the lookout. I'll have to be ready to move on and go to the Nürburgring Nordschnee-Alpe in race number 2. This time, I'll have to go by German sports car to choose the Porsche 911 Carrera RS Type 901 1973 will be ready up and take the green hill. But Sports Stop compound tires is being suitable and check is calculated on 524.57 performance point. But if possible, just grab any available tuning part and get yourself improved to be on the main range on 580 due to the regulation. Exactly to see the generation of the Porsche 911 between the standard turbo version or the Carrera RS is all about to have some different form of models by over half a century, but very yet to be popular to this day to see how one Carrera in the Type 903. But the weather condition is about to be changed out to be very differently when you're entered on the Nordschnee-Alpe. But here we have Lucas Ordonez to have one tip of the interaction about the Nissan Skyline Camry. I'm Lucas Ordonez from Spain and I won the inaugural GT Academy in 2008. This Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR is none other than the 1973 Camry GTR successor to the famous Hakusuka GTR of the 1960s. Why is it called the Camry? It is a reference to the Ken and Mary commercial once used to promote the Skyline. With a limited production run of about 200 cars, the Camry GTR is rare find indeed. Very rare and very much more fine classic road car from Japan to see how the limited road car is being designed and a popular reference to the Ken and Mary commercial. I like about the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR Camry is a very good rare car for the Japanese culture. Very automotive and very good pop reference to Ken and Mary in the commercial. Then let's get it on and have the Porsche 911 Carrera RS Type 908 will be ready to do on the rolling start on the 16th, then dive down on the first turn. Okay, overtake the Nissan Skyline Hardtop 2000 GTR. Coming in on the 14th is the Toyota 2000 GT 1967. Very good, excellent handling and efficient on the skill. Got to go overtake on the Nissan Fairlady C432 1969 as a first generation. I see Lucas Ordonez on the Camry Skyline. Okay, very good. Now, going to keep moving. Current position on number 12 as I'm about to go overtake on the BMW 3.0 CSL 1973. Coming around onto the next sector, I see the Jaguar E-Type going in. Proceed as well in good style in British Racing Green. Okay, 18 seconds is doing well. But I hope 2 Lamborghini Countach is still yet to be usual to become as a top tier contender. Any kinds of 20th century sports car to go facing up with Lamborghini Countach is going to be impossible. Okay, next sector on the way. Got to go overtake on the Ferrari 308 GTB 1975 as I'm about to get closer and pass on the Shelby GT350. Okay, coming along nicely. Next up, 2 cars on De Tomaso. One for the Pantera and one for the green in the Mangusta. Okay, that's very good. Moving on to the 7. Just have 3.4 seconds to go remaining to catch up to the Mangusta. A very good second additional road car for Gran Turismo 7. Coming in, and have that next turn to stay on the inside to find a good line. There you go. Good overtake on one Italian road car, and then second generation Corvette Stingray on number 5. Just only 4 more to go, and there's the Ferrari 512BB on position 4 in about 3.6 seconds. I'm going in and catching up to have a yellow Ferrari in a classic road car. Come on, just have to stay on it. It's only down to 11 seconds to go. The faster it gets, the tougher we'll face the corners between 2 Countaches, plus Amira is currently to be on the number 3 spot. But it's about to go increase advantage. It's coming back up on number 12. I can barely see it, but I still might need to catch up to the Ferrari 512BB to go slipstream between the next sector on the way. Okay, gonna stay on it. That's why clean racing is important for classic cars. Okay, no sign of incoming rain. Come on, just have to brake well and stay the inside apex. The 512BB is still pushing in. Okay, slowing down. Now I'm going to stay on the grip and proceed. Already took the carousel, so Rossi in the Lamborghini Mira is coming right in to have the next sector to go all in. Just have that position right over to the concrete. Just came to drive and do the long stretch. The progress will be going right back up in about 11 seconds to go remaining. Let's do for a one-on-one showdown, as I just already finished the Mira at Goodwood Motor Circuit. There you go. Simple as that, and the long wait will have to keep a good further offense for the Porsche 911 Carrera RS. It's only down to 7.4. Next sector, we'll have to keep a hold down the fort on 3rd place before 2 of them are about to be coming in within a few more corners to go for having a long straight. That's why it's going to be a bit more impossible to see how one 911 Carrera RS might face up with 2 Countaches is very more contested to be challenging. I see them right now. Let's give it a soft compound tires to go in sports and embrace it to go hard. It's only down to 2 seconds to go in 1.7. I see them right now. Got to get closer to them before they're about to take the full advantage. It could get tougher. One overtake at the Countach, then the second. Okay, very good and old-fashioned. Always have to keep a good top-tier contender to go embrace it and beat 2 retro supercars between 2 Lamborghinis. But unless, the bad news is for the Porsche, things might be going more secret surprise by having a tricks up their sleeves. but I'm very sure of it. That's why I had to be prepared for everything. 2 Countaches is going to be on an onslaught for only 1 Porsche. Okay, gonna have to go intercept, and oh! They just know my defense strategy to see how 2 Countaches has already known the best element of surprise. But very touche to see how the LP400 and 25th anniversary always get the job done. But not yet. It still might need to go hard tier challenger to catch up and face it for only 1 lap. But so very close to see how I just barely almost reached the finish line to get there in first. But second place between one of the Porsche 911 and the Carrera RS has already been being a challenger to be served as a runner-up. But by the way folks, just to see how the Ferrari can actually have to face up with 2 Lamborghini Countach on race number 3. But of course, the Porsche 911 always had to do a lot of more practice and just try to do their best effort by having hard compound racing tires is the best choice of recommendation. But total time is 8 minutes, 25.629 seconds, and faster lap time I took from lap number 1 is 8 minutes, 26.001 seconds. But very good thing to have 1 relay ticket received from yesterday, and the next day is currently to do some more workout progress, and clean race will double up the earning in 54,000 GT credits. But there you go, another 4-star roulette ticket and stamp number 2 to be acquired to be specified in the menu book. Okay, now for a replay to see which position should do well. Okay, there we go, right at the picture. Just have to go zoom in and have the Porsche to go right over here. And yet, the next one is got to be right over here for this part along with the Ferrari 512 BB. But of course, just only 1 replay and see the respawn might be work perfectly after having race number 1 to be collected and save it as well. Okay, with race number 2 at the Nürburgring is being finished and done on 2nd place, I'll have to make sure to go adding up by the encore in part 139. So let's go to Belgium on Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps, but this time the third one is ever yet to be challengeable to see how 1 De Tomaso road car or any kind of Ferrari road car to be ready up and see how you can drive very well to be well specifically. But to be honest, I know you guys really want me to go for the Lamborghini Countach as a recommend pick, just like the Mira, but I'll have to go by Ferrari to have selected by 10 cars. But how about I'll have to choose and go for the Ferrari GTO 1984 with a Total Drama World Tour livery Team Victory. But it might be a very good excellent choice of the pick because the sports hard compound tires might be a very good excellent top contender to take on with 2 Lamborghini Countach. But I just purchased the Bolas and performance adjustment on power restrictor is all good for now. Got to go to the settings and get back in. Let's give it much reduced amount of performance to go by 580. But that should work very well. 579.32 and perfectly and all set. It all comes down to this, the final race and the main menu objective to go finish in 3rd place or higher on Spa-Francorchamps for having a 3-lap challenge, just like Nürburgring Nordschnee-Alpe for 1 lap and Goodwood Motor Circuit for 5 laps. Just to see how it goes for the Ferrari GTO is a very good top tier contender by facing up with 2 Lamborghini Countach with the LP400, 25th anniversary, and of course the Mira P400 bird tone prototype. But here we have one tip from Daniel Solis about the Lancia Stratos 1973. I'm Daniel Solis from the United States. This Lancia Stratos has long been a favorite of mine. Its design was penned by Marcello Gandini, best known for his work on the Countach. Indeed, Lamborghini's trademark sharp-edged design has its origins in the Stratos. Sharp-edged origins on the Stratos, very much more vintage, retro, and fine element from the Lamborghini Countach. But very good indeed, and that is much more inspirational to see how the Lancia Stratos to have that kind of a form of a sharp edge front style chassis to be much similar to the Lamborghini Countach. So I had to get myself prepared because weather forecast of today is partly cloudy. But I'm sure if it's going to be rain coming up soon, so I had to be on the lookout on the weather radar. So here I go. The final race will be underway to be finished in 3rd place or higher. Got to take the turn 1 on La Source, overtake the Nissan Skyline Hardtop 2000 GTR and Toyota 2000 GT, but the same pattern and different road cars by the opponent. Here comes the Aral Rouge. Got a good eye on the yellow Maserati Merak SS 1980. But indeed, exactly, it is the Maserati Merak SS 1980s. Okay, I see Daniel Solis. He's on the 9th position to overtake the BMW 3.0 CSL. Gonna stay on him and take on turn 6 in sector 2. Just the way it goes, they have a suitable recommended road car to take on with Lamborghini Countach between the LP400 and the 25th anniversary, along with the Mira P400 is very much more stronger to be average. But did I ever mention about additional to have 2 races to be added in America? Grand Valley Highway 1 and Willow Springs International Raceway for the Shelby Cobra is becoming the #1 most strong high-powered road car to be vintage. So I had to keep that in mind because you might need to grab the Shelby Cobra and take on the Cobra for the next race after the menu book is already been finished and done when you're on 3rd place or higher. That's why I just really might need to get myself prepared for the next part of the full walkthrough in part 139. But not yet. I still have a long way to go, and weekly challenges is still yet to be available for this week after the end of March and go early in April. Okay, moving on in sector 3. But it's doing well. Always had to keep racing clean and just keep going overtake to climb up in the 1st position without 2 Lamborghini Countach. Good pass on the De Tomaso Pantera 1971. Just only 3 more to go. Porsche 911 Carrera RS, 3rd generation Corvette C3, and the Ferrari 512 BB. Just good, perfect, and vintage, and no sign of 2 Lamborghinis around on the grid. So it looks like the wind direction is at 14.8 square feet. Looks like the wind is coming along to go smoothly by the normal, but it'll have to turn around by having an update during on lap number 2. No sign of rain, and the clouds are being moving around before the sunlight might be going a bit brighter. Okay, there we go. Overtake the Corvette Stingray C3 hardtop version. Got to keep going. Then catching up to the Ferrari 512 BB. So the wind is at 14.6 square feet. It's still going on the arrow. but somehow it might have to go change up by the update later on if there's going to be some rain nearby. Okay, there we go. Team victory on the Ferrari GTO is in the lead. Just have to keep it slowed down and do it on turn number 10, then stop by at turn 11 by pulling the brake. So just like that, and it's going to be a very good recommended road car that you guys really might need to use that GTO by facing up with 2 Countaches and the Mira P400 Bertone. But after all, the only thing that you really think about the Shelby Cobra might be a very good, excellent idea to have some tuning work to go exactly reduced by having a strong horsepower and weight if possible to see you really need to get things to be organized and make it much more better to have a personal balance of performance. But it does help. It could go all in and make it much more powerful to be stronger and give it a D adjustment to see how the comparison like all the other road cars from the 20th century. So it's almost there. Wind direction is decreased in 14.3 square feet. Ah, come on. That was so very close to have that clean performance to go off the track by having a caution. But good thing, early brake helps. Now I'll have to slow down at the chicane in 19 and 20. Just keep it steady. Almost there. Third and final lap, up I go. Faster lap time in 2 minutes, 50.284 seconds. Okay, I see some good sky. Oh yeah, I just really have to switch it to the interior view. We'll go for the action. Okay, going up on the Hyperion Rouge. I hope the wind direction is going to decrease slowly a little bit more. Now it's at 13.9 square feet. Just keep going, and it's no need to have some improvised strategy. Just go all the way and make it to the finish line till you have to be in first place to be well success. Okay, the 512 BP is at turn 6 to go on the Lasours. Few other drivers is now being seen on the course map at the top right. Okay, my current gap is at 8.7 seconds during the middle of sector 2. Almost 9 seconds to go increase a little bit more. Take the Pohon, turn 12. Okay, it's coming back up on 14.1 square feet. Just very good. More wind, more speed, acceleration to get it well respond. Okay folks, back in sector 3 and one more to go. If I can feel it to have one-way ticket to get in the finish line, Team Victory will always have to be well succeeded and make a good proud effort to be in the first position on the win. But very surpassing to have a total gap distance in 12.8 seconds, well behind away from the Ferrari 512 BB. By now, I'm just way going too fast and going well expert at it. Here comes the final stretch. There we go. The Ferrari GTO takes the win in first place. Just much recommendable, tuning requirement, and then it's all good. But I really do appreciate to have a good valuable respect, viewers, but every road car might need to have some tuning parts upgraded and much more fine advanced to go by detuning work to get it much more suitable adjusted recommend. By using the Ferrari GTO that took a total time in 8 minutes 36.669 seconds as I took recently for lap number 2 in 2 minutes 50.284 seconds. But very fine to be stronger than the Lamborghini Countach LP400 and 25th anniversary plus the Mira P400 Birdtone prototype. Just having one good standard clean race without double earning, but I'll have to do 55,000 Gran Turismo credit, and that's it for now. Third stamp acquired, and one menu book is already done. Finally! After all the full walkthrough that I just come here, and finishing up from menu book number 39 to take part in the World GT Series, and the bonus menu book as well. It comes in a long way for only exactly a year later, and that's why I just finished here at long last. But good thing season 2 of my full walkthrough just come together after finishing for my first season from the very beginning. But of course, when it comes in to have some challenges of my own, being a YouTuber is all about to get things to be working up, editing, and minor update to have my channel to go by industrial development on my very own. But even yet, every replay might have to be shared by a diary for my own log of the journey. But this is very much more enjoyable to have year number 2 for Gran Turismo 7 by celebrate the 2nd anniversary since March 4, 2022. Then let's go back to the cafe, and reminder to have 1 day left for the weekly challenges is still on the clock. But today is April 3rd, and looks like I just been here from April 2nd during my time of the record session on this segment. But the 4-star roulette ticket is now being acquired, and job well done. Congratulations on completing a menu. I got a ticket for you. Remember to come by and pick it up. Sweet. 4-star roulette ticket has acquired. So what else should I have to do next after finishing all 50 bonus books on the menu book? It all comes in for having a long way from menu book number 1 and stop currently on number 39 to have some few other card collection and events available by unlock. But after all, extra menu book to go by number 40 and stop by number 50 to go a separate by date. But in the end, menu book number 46 on the main date on April 3rd, 2024 in Historic Sports Car Master is going to be my last step effort out there to have some more races in each part of the event available. But it takes a lot of progress, day by day, patient by patient, and go with car selection with strategy with some few parts and tires acquired. Now onto the extra menu to be ready up and have some Shelby cars to be in extra menu number 20 to have 3 kinds of road cars. The 1966 Shelby Cobra 427, GT350, and the Ford Shelby GT350R 2016. 6-star roulette ticket is now being received reward and have some 3 most legendary cars to ever wear the Shelby badge. Shelby badge. Congratulations, you got all 3 cars. This completes your Shelby collection. Once you collect your present, I got some stories to tell you about these cars. Beautiful, and it's a 3 Shelby road car accrued together. Beautiful, much scenery to have a location in Willow Springs International Raceway to be take place at the Big Willow. The collection, Shelby, has now complete. 6-star roulette ticket has now been acquired. Then let's go for a narrative story on extra menu number 20 about Shelby. The name of the Shelby American Car Company comes from Carroll Shelby. Shelby worked his way up from the amateur ranks to become an icon who competed in Formula One and at Le Mans. But perhaps he is better known as one of America's most cherished race car designers. One of Shelby's greatest achievements as a designer happened in 1961 when he ordered a race car chassis from Braden's AC Cars. This chassis was fitted with a Ford V8 engine and took the name Shelby Cobra. It dominated sports car races of the 1960s, becoming a legend in the American racing scene. Among the most celebrated of all Shelby's creation is the 427 Cobra. With a 7.0-liter V8 engine fitted into this classic yet robust body, it snatched the podium in numerous races. Shelby's efforts did not end with the Cobra. He also transformed the production Ford Mustang into a high-performance muscle car. The most well-known model is this 1965 Shelby 350, a homologation car developed to dominate the racetrack. With a displacement of 289 cubic inches or 4.7 liters, this V8 masterpiece turned the Mustang into a formidable classic. Carroll Shelby passed away in 2012, but his legacy and his spirit live on in these cars. Take for example, the 2016 Ford Shelby GT350R, which took the already nimble modern Mustang and made it lighter, tuning the entire car from the engine to the chassis to make it a true Shelby. Carroll Shelby was, after all, the man who helped the Ford GT40 conquer Le Mans in the 1960s. This wonderful collection will show you his extraordinary passion for cars and enthusiasm for racing. A paid tribute to Carroll Shelby for designing his cars from the 1960s, which he took part in the 24 Hours of Le Mans, include with a Shelby Cobra 427 and a base model example on the first generation Mustang as a GT350R. Additional for the 2016 Ford Mustang Shelby GT350R as a 3-car collection represent him as an icon legacy for his own spirit. Very much more inspirational, and every Ford fans will always have a good bond of his spirit between the driver and the cars of Carroll Shelby, for only 2 of them and one to be exclusive to be designed with a collaboration of Ford. Next up, we're having extra menu number 21 is Alpine. 1 classic, 1 modern, and a Vision Gran Turismo race mode is perfectly to have a lineup to have some very good vintage with a classic, modern, and the concept. Collect cars built by Alpine, a famous manufacturer from France, the birthplace of motorsports. 5-star roulette ticket, and I had to be looking obliged to it to be ready to wrap this up at the end of the video to be moving on in part 139 to go continue on in historic sports car masters. So thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on DeviantArt, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more social media platforms. And don't forget to check it out all of my screenshot images on UDRS in Sportech, Vision Total Drama, and DreamArt Livery Style Dispenser presented by myself, Hyperion-Blue-GT, as you may ever welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.